Nothing too crazy over here, but yesterday, between getting a sprinkler and it raining, I didn't really feel like making an air about things, putting on an air. I went to bed early and I woke up really early, like 3 a.m. And I wasn't really planning on staying awake, but I responded to an email, and it was one of those where I really could not get words together so that my message came across. So it took me a while. Then I checked in on my games, and the next thing I knew, it was, daylight out. So I took a little jaunt around the blocks. It is July 1st. I don't know. I mean, whatever anxiety I have is just because I feel like people haven't been very reverent. And so, it means something to me. And it worries me that, people aren't trying to really pay tribute to the holiday. But I would like to do a little yard work this morning. It gets so hot during the day, so we'll see if I get after it here shortly. I was offered a birthday coffee from this spot here in the neighborhood. They sent me an email. I think I still have like $5 with them on a gift card. I'm out of coffee, and it's so funny because that is an option. But it's not exactly a Gilmore Girls situation, I do try to get out, and it was mostly because I was really trying to get a job here in the neighborhood, and it's been so long that, it's just like, doesn't really feel like I can, go at it the same way. It's coming up on, or no, it's been 6 years since I've been back. And anyways, so just thinking about, the few times when I was working, but I asked for, financial assistance, and it was never anything major, I asked Grandma for underwear. I asked Granddad for a plane ticket, and it wasn't astronomical, it was like a couple $100s here and there. I've never asked for big ticket things. I didn't even ask for a car when I was a teenager, but there were people close to me who wanted a new car, so that made it easy for them to give me one. But yeah, so I never asked for anything crazy. Yes, I had tuition assistance when I was in school, but I've never even asked for $1,000 for, personal things. So, it's just, it's not about, it's not about, privilege, but I do think, it's sort of sophisticated because grandma had her name on the underwear, and my mother's name was on the underwears too. I asked granddad for a one-way ticket, entrusting that we would be in communication, and it would only be so much or less to get back. And I never really asked for nothing crazy. But my birthday is this month, and I'm reminiscing about the days when I didn't let reputation get in the way of my popularity. And I wasn't like, you know, like celebrated, but I still went to parties and I still worked a room, and I still saw people when I was at work. And yeah, it's just really hard to conceive of life around here after having been out of grade school for so long, because I did so much to get to know people, and we were afforded so much due to proximity. And I mean, I know everybody thought that they were kings and queens. I really, really, truly believe that. Hundreds of kids, hundreds of students, I can say matter of factly, maybe even, a few thousand. And everyone felt like they had places to go and opportunities. And it's been a long time since that. So, it's easy to give something away if it isn't yours. It's another thing to want to give someone something specific, and when you really care about someone, you want to get those details right, so that they know that you were thinking of them, so that they feel seen, so that they feel special. That's why it's not really good enough to just, to just take from whatever is common and pass it along, because at any given point, it's supposed to be internalized and interpreted, and people do that. But I'm usually talking about lowest common denominators, and ways to avoid being totally vulnerable. And that's just a intrapersonal philosophy. That's not interpersonal. If you got it, use it if you've got it. Speaking to, relations of things. And yeah, I mean, people say a lot of, mean stuff, and they assume that someone is going to take it as a joke. They assume, the benefit of the doubt. They take a Pollyanna perspective. But that's not the same thing as being thoughtful, as being, like, yes, you can get away with sarcasm, but if you always get away with sarcasm, you're never actually trying to take care of things. And that difference is so major. So, if not for me, for someone, try and put yourself out there. Try and show up, and, try to do that without, you know, without malice, be there and participate and see what you can do to encourage equal participation, at a party or at, an event or whatever. And you'll see that it works. You'll be getting phone numbers left and right. You'll be making plans. And hopefully, going into this next, because you only get one semi-quincentennial, right? So anyways, there should be a lot to look forward to. And the more, the merrier. All right, have a